Okay, so let's get into the pin types. So let's go through what type of pin types are available and what would be the best that you would recommend for Amazon sellers.
Sure. So rich pin is the easiest. You're like, let me get rich by doing very little work. Think of it that way. When you already have a picture or an asset and you use that Chrome extension, you can right click and then it will make the content for you. A standard pin is where you're creating a pin that's standard. It's like an image where you're creating a content, and think of it as like a cover that inspires curiosity. Ideal sizing is 1000 by 1500, a 2x3 format. So it's slightly different than the square, but remember, a lot of people are on mobile, so it's really great real estate when you're putting your brand in front of others. So it might be like, you know, top 6 free, I'm just looking at this, top 6 free yellow brick road quilt patterns, right? Where you're telling someone what this is about so that they're like, oh, that's interesting to me. Like your meta titles and meta descriptions on your Google content. You're having someone, you're showing like, hey, look at this, this is really nice. And then you're delivering it. And you have that thumbnail style standard pin, again, in that 2x3, 1000 by 1500 format. And to do a standard pin, the recommendation is always be super clear on what you're delivering so that someone's like, oh my gosh, absolutely, I need to see this. I'm so intrigued. Show me, tell me more. So they click. And then I recommend you have your logo and your website. So you can have that branding right away, because a lot of users are on the platform and very few brands. There's a supply and demand opportunity because brands think Pinterest is old, so they're not participating. That's why we're seeing thousands of clicks to our clients' websites by taking their past Facebook posts and uploading them directly in. Even though 2x3 is the ideal Pinterest size, Pinterest will take any style creative. I just have seen better performance when you follow their 2x3 recommendation type. And if you use original content, it's our theory that Pinterest is able to scan all the pins. And when you use photos from Canva or stock photos, people might be using that exact same image elsewhere. So this is our theory that it slightly devalues your creative. But we have clients that have no stock, they have no photos, no UGC, no lifestyle images. We use only stock images that we find in Canva, and we're still getting, hundreds of thousands of views to their content every month, thousands of clicks to their website every week. It's really impactful. So the standard pin is, think of it as like the thumbnail for your YouTube. You tell people more, you can give it a title, and you can give it a description. The title is 100 characters max, description is 450 or 500, but I always try to make my title 85 characters. And then I ask ChatGPT to give me a description about this to be between 350 and 400 characters in case I need to add see link in bio. But I literally will tell ChatGPT what I want them to deliver in the title and the description. And we're able to upload so many pins quickly by just taking existing content or using like stock photos, adding in a title like that, top 6 free yellow brick road quilt patterns, or easy quilt ideas to sew in a day. That's another pin example. I'm just looking at trends.pinterest.com. Adding at the bottom our URL and our logo for that brand connectivity. So that's your standard pin. Standard is like you do it all the time. It's what people are most comfortable with. Standard operation. Again, you can repurpose your Facebook and Instagram images and upload them as is. If you want to do it at the very basic level, upload it as is. Use ChatGPT or your own if you're a fast writer to give a title description. Go into the Pinterest search bar and type in the keyword you think people would see and then see what's returning back to you and leverage that in your title and description. And then the third type of pin is called an idea pin. And that's the video. That's where you're uploading it in portrait style mode. Of course, you can do it other sizes, but 6 to 15 seconds is working the best. Not all of them give you the link that you can connect and tell them to, but all of them will, as they've published that extensively.
So on that standard pin, the URL that you enter, that could be your Amazon listing.
Absolutely.
And why can't you then put the attribution tag in that URL?
Well, the attribution tag for Pinterest, because Pinterest, of course, makes money by selling ads. Their Pinterest analytics element is based on the Chrome extension and cookies. You could, if you're using UTM based attribution stuff, absolutely, but I'm mindful of iOS 17 and how they're gonna strip all UTMs on the back of URLs, so I want to be hyper cautious to a future Armageddon problem for Q3, Q4.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking the URL for your listing, Amazon will produce those attribution tags that are just URLs. So it would be interesting to test, see what would happen. Plug in that Amazon generated URL for the listing that has the attribution tags that Amazon produced. Then you actually have traffic coming in, and then any orders placed, you're gonna get up to 10% from Amazon of your sales.
Just be mindful of, again, with iOS 17 and Safari or Apple users, which have the highest like propensity of purchase and spend per capita, like per household, that will make a change. But that's going to affect everyone, like emails, Google click IDs, Facebook click IDs, all that's coming. But yeah, if you can integrate that type of tracking into the UTM, absolutely. It's just an imperfect, once someone clicks, I don't always trust UTMs. That's why, like I've seen Amazon give me the wrong numbers. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I don't know how how accurate Amazon's numbers are, but right now we've tested this with some of my clients doing their own email marketing, sending an email to their mailing list, and then they incorporate those attribution tags, and Amazon pays them a percentage of the sales generated from those links. And what I don't know for sure is how their email marketing software reported in terms of number of clicks versus number of clicks Amazon attribution tag reported.
That would be an interesting comparison.
Yes. So I mean, if the email program says 100 clicks and Amazon is reporting 85, then obviously there is a leakage somewhere. But
I would be mindful of, like with Facebook. So for our team that does Facebook media buying, we assume a 10% drop off because people fat finger click, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to, page took too long. So they don't actually load the stuff that will allow that whole UTM URL to unscroll or to be fully posted, all that stuff. So for an 85 to 100, I wouldn't be super mindful, but if it's like 40 and 100, stuff is being dropped.
Yes, yeah.